Hey everyone, it's Sailor, or you can call me Professor Pizza. I hope you're sitting down and don't have a full bladder because in this episode, hilarity ensues. Tonight we have guests Erica and Amy from the Lounge Experience podcast. They're with us to talk about their journey, their home state of Jersey, which by the way is also the home state of Matt, and right next door to my OG home state, New York, New York. We talk cigars, we talk about drinking whiskey out of hotel room cups, we talk about things Jersey-ites love, and then there's the pizza bomb. Oh, we also talk about my favorite band, Bon Jovi. That was sarcasm. So pour yourself a dram, grab a slice, strap yourself in, and enjoy the show. Hey, everyone. Welcome. How you guys doing tonight?
What's up?
Good.
Hey, Sailor. Doing good.
Great.
Doing well.
Fantastic.
Amy, you really want to do the whole thing, don't you? Do it.
Go ahead.
I do it. Do it.
Go. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening.
Well, if
good
you're in
night,
Australia.
'cause we are live. So it is a good
Morning in
night.
Australia.
There
Morning,
we go. We got
Adrian.
you, Australian.
Morning, Vic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, if you're wondering what in the fuck is going on here, we have some special guests with us tonight. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of laughing, some laughing, crying. I'll be blowing my nose a lot and hopefully won't pee my pants. This is a regular theme on Metal, Rock, and Whiskey. My listeners know. We have two fan-fucking-tastic guests with us tonight from the Lounge Experience podcast. Please welcome Erica and Amy.
Hello. Hey. We are so happy to be here, you guys. Thank you so much for having us.
I'm so excited.
Happy to have you guys.
Excited to have you.
We are psyched to have you on the show. Listeners, these two ladies here were very kind enough to have me as a guest on their show. And funny little story that I haven't told publicly yet. They got me at a very weird time in my life. I had just stepped away from the brand that I was working for to start my own brand, Sailor Guevara Experiences. I had recently landed in Florida and was kind of feeling this freedom I hadn't had in I don't know when, to be honest, because when you're tied to a brand, you have to be very careful what you say and what you do because you're always representing the brand. And even though it may not look like I was always being careful about what I said and what I did, trust me, I was. And trust me that my the boss was always watching and listening and was okay with most of what I was doing and saying, and when they weren't, they would let me know. So here I was. I had this newfound freedom, and they're like, "Hey, why don't you be a guest on our show?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, what do you want me to talk about?" And they're like, "Well, whatever you want." Don't say that to Sailor.
You did talk about whatever you
Yes,
wanted.
and we loved it.
I did.
We did. It was so much fun to have you on, and you gave us a different perspective. And the amount of feedback that we got from our listeners, they were like, "Who is this woman?" This is like she's.
It was pretty epic.
It was really good. I mean, you have history in the spirit industry, and you have history in the cigar industry as well now, and to have you on our show means a lot. You could have said no, and we just want to have that platform for others to be able to talk and just get different people that the people that really want to learn and just have open minds, and they welcome everybody. It's a safe space, and it was a very safe space for you. So
it was very safe.
yeah.
That's exactly what it felt like, and I was so excited to be on the show, and I have gone back and listened. Finally, I don't like to listen to myself talk, and I did, and I was like, "Whoo! I really pulled that carpet back, didn't I? Damn. Okay." But you know what? I was fed up, and it needed to happen, and I'm glad it did, and it felt very freeing. So thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
So now here we have you guys with us tonight, and we have a very special show lined up. I mean, we pulled out all the stops, you guys. So I am really excited to get into this. So Ed, what are we doing tonight?
All right. Well, I am clearly outnumbered here tonight because of this subject. We are going to be discussing, in particular, New Jersey music artists.
Okay.
And being that I am the lone Midwesterner here in this group, everyone else has ties to New York, New Jersey, Boston, that whole area. So I am expecting to learn a lot more than I can contribute tonight.
Wait, we are too, though. We are too, though.
And I'm going to tell you the honest truth. I think that I'm the one that is going to participate the least.
We'll see about that.
We'll see.
We'll see about
To be
that.
honest with you.
Yes,
When
you
it
wait.
comes to music, I'll listen to it. I will enjoy it. But knowing anything and everything possible about the band, so nothing. So I'm sorry, but
You'll be all right.
anything
Okay,
else,
we don't
maybe I
know.
can
We
You're
don't
gonna
know
be
anything
just
either.
fine.
We're just
They don't
here,
know.
right?
They don't know shit, you guys.
We've BS'd our way through 120 episodes.
This is true. This is
We're
true.
here for it too. We're here for it too.
No, I'm
No
excited.
worries.
I'm so excited. So
Well, there's a reason why our show is named the way it is. Isn't that right, Matt?
That is right, Sailor. That is right. And as I always say, although whiskey is the third word in the title of our show, it is not the least important. So this is the part of the show where we go around and get into what we are drinking tonight, and also what a few of us might be smoking as well. For you watching on YouTube, there are a couple of us that are outside, as you can see. But we usually start with our guests when we have guests. So what are our guests of honor drinking tonight?
All right. So we are drinking. Well, I'm drinking Uncle Nearest 1856.
Lovely.
It's
Awesome.
really good.
It's really good, isn't it?
Really good. I've been taking my time with this bottle. It's just so good.
don't take your time. Just
It's a
sip on
sipper. It's a slow sipper.
I like it because sometimes, especially you guys probably understand when smoking cigars and drinking a cocktail or just something neat or on the rocks, it tends to go down a little bit faster.
Mhm.
But with this particular spirit, it doesn't. As well as what Amy is drinking now too. You wanna
oh,
show
sorry.
them what that was your cue.
What you got there, Amy?
Way to pick up what she was putting down.
Wait, I'm like,
Yeah, I'm sorry, I missed it. I'm sorry, I missed it. I'm making all type of faces.
she's just like
Okay, so-
staring
They're the
at
professionals.
Yeah, sorry. There's somebody who's a professional, somebody who's a mess.
Hey,
I don't know.
Amy, don't feel bad. I missed the toss on our last episode. So
It's all
Big
right.
time.
You see,
It's all
Ed,
good.
I really like you because you continue to make me feel like I'm not alone. I appreciate you, man. I do. So I am drinking Widow Jane 10.
Yeah.
And I'm
very nice.
having it with, something quite special. The Death Star, which is your cocktail that you made, Sailor, a couple of months ago.
Mix.
I think that was June or May? Was it June?
May,
No,
because it was
May.
Star Wars month.
Yes, May.
May the force be with
Be with
you.
you.
Yes, that was one of my favorite mixes for sure. It's a coffee-based mix, and I used
Chocolate.
and chocolate. Yep, and I used a local coffee from Florida. Coffee by Key, Kee. She's kick ass, and we'll be hearing more from her soon at SGE. But yeah, that was a fun mix to make. So I hope you're enjoying it.
I'm loving it, and I told you I love your cocktails. So I wish I had more. What do you call it? The widow mixer for this past month.
Yeah, you can order it on the website.
No, I saw it, and I'm going to order some more.
Oh, okay.
I wish that I had it tonight, honey. I just wish I had it tonight. No, yeah, but I'm having that tonight, so I'm excited.
They are not paid to talk about my lovely mixes, I swear.
No.
I just give them free stuff.
And she's that damn good too. So I mean,
she's that good. They are that good.
Right.
Yeah, they are that good. So yeah.
Well, thank you.
No, they're amazing.
All right. Well, Matt, what are you drinking?
Well, of all the bottles I have, I only have one thing from New Jersey, and I texted you guys this before we started. So I'm actually drinking Laird's apple brandy. Yeah, not something I would typically drink, but like I said, it is from New Jersey.
But distillery number 1 in the entire country.
Correct.
Wait,
I've been curious to try
Yeah.
that. I've never had Applejack before.
So Applejack has its origins even before the Revolution. So like late 1600s, 1690, 1695, something like that. And then Laird's was actually, I believe the distillery was founded in the late 1700s, so right after the Revolution.
Yep.
But it has deep roots in New Jersey, obviously. And this one in particular is actually a single barrel proof.
Ooh.
So it's got some kick to it. 121 proof.
Still family owned as well.
It is. Yes.
Wow.
Since the 1700s. Isn't that nuts?
Yes.
And didn't they have like a grocery store first? Wasn't
They
I
did.
remember.
Yeah.
Like a general store, I guess you would have called it back then.
But many generations. Yep.
I do have a question. So when you, if I can squeeze in a minute, when a bottle says the proof, is it really that, or is it like a certain? What percentage is the actual proof? Is that the right question? I don't know if I'm saying it right, but
yes,
it says 120. But do you really only get like 80%, or what does that mean?
Yeah, so alcohol by volume will be half of the proof. So if it's 121 proof, 60.5% ABV.
Noted. Got it. Okay. Cool. Because nobody could every time I asked, it was like nobody could ever.
It's just two different measurements for the same. It's the same thing, but just kind of. It's like saying Fahrenheit or Celsius, basically. It's still the same temperature. It's the same exact.
And there is history behind proofing, I believe, with gunpowder or whatever they used to do back in the day. So
not with
I don't know exactly.
That's a fallacy. It started before that. The proving that there was alcohol in the spirit was done just by lighting it on fire. Just like you would. So toasting comes from putting toast inside the wine or whatever it was because it was bitter and it would like soak up all the bitter stuff. So proofing, you wanted to prove, you were proving, right? Prove to me that there's alcohol in this and how much alcohol is in this. And it comes from rum. And if you could light it on fire, you knew it was a certain proof, and then you would proof it down from there. And that's how you knew. Moonshiners and the people that make mezcal, the mezcal distillers, they know how to check proof by the amount of bubbles, how long it takes for them to just dissipate in the liquid, which is cool as shit to watch.
What?
I don't know how they do it. They shake it up and you look at the bubbles and they can count and they can tell what the proof is from that. It's look it up on YouTube. It's crazy. And they're on point every single time.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
What? I never even heard of these shit.
I've never heard of that.
That's awesome. Well, there's something new we just learned.
I always believe the gunpowder thing, but I learn something new every day still.
Now,
I mean, maybe that
the
happened,
term
but
gunpowder proof. Is that's obviously related to what you're talking about, or what's the meaning behind gunpowder proof?
Well, go ahead, Sailor.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Matt.
No, I was going to say that they would test it with the gunpowder. If it ignited the gunpowder, it was proved to be strong enough. basically, is what they would say.
No, it was proved to be that you didn't want to transport that on your ship along with the gunpowder.
Or that, yes. more logically,
But
yes.
not really. That you don't have to do that. All you have to do is light a flame next to it. You don't have to add gunpowder to it. That's absurd. Like, what fucking idiot would do? Think about that. This is the silly, stories that get told. I mean, it's romantic and it sounds cool and whatever. And hey, look, you remember it, and there's some truth to it. So there you go.
Well, History Channel. What can I say?
Well, isn't the History Channel called the Hitler and Alien Channel now?
Definitely the Alien Channel. Yes.
Ancient
so
aliens.
wild.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite memes now. The guy with like the crazy hair.
Yes,
hair.
Where
What's up with his hair?
Where he's like aliens, dude. Like,
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah.
So what's your glass tonight, Sailor?
So I don't have a glass tonight. I have a can. I'm not drinking beer. I'm drinking Sippany,
Ooh,
actually. So
I've had that.
Sippany is a gorgeous. Now stick with me, listeners. Don't run screaming. Let me finish saying what I have to say before you're like, what the fuck happened to her? It is a canned cocktail. Calm down. It's like a canned highball, right? But it's actually real New York rye whiskey with real honey and the perfect amount of bubbles. So your type of bubbles is so incredibly important in a highball. The Japanese created a machine for your bubbled water, right? It's not club soda necessarily. It's not just sparkling water necessarily. It's like something in between. And so we had Amanda Victoria on with us last month on our Meet the Maker event that I do with my brand. And she told us the story of Sippany, and it's just phenomenal. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. It tastes delicious. It's all super real ingredients. I've never liked the White Claws and that stuff. It just tastes like chemicals to me. And I mean, I like the idea of it, like something light and refreshing in the heat. I live in Florida now. In the summer, something low calorie, a little bit lower ABV is nice as well, like in the afternoon. This is the perfect answer to that, but all natural with actual real rye whiskey. And Amanda comes from the whiskey industry for many, many years. So when it comes to whiskey, she knows what she's talking about. It's absolutely delicious. You can get it online. Sip Oni, and it's become my favorite thing with a cigar. Actually, it goes really well with. I don't know why. It's like what I love to drink now when I have a cigar. And so I am drinking that, and I'm smoking a Tabanero that I got when I was in Ybor City in Tampa a few months ago. And walked into this really beautiful little cigar shop, and the owner was there. And I got to speak to him a little bit and ask him some questions. And he gave me a really nice selection of his cigars. And this is a Maduro, and it's really delicious. So that's what I'm having.
Nice.
Ybor City is so cool. I've been there a couple times. They've got this great taco place there called Alaskan Taco Company or
Only
something like
one?
that.
There are many.
One that I've
Lot,
been to.
right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say
God.
they're like every 3 steps there's a taco place.
Yeah, it's a great alligator tacos there.
Ooh, I want to taste that. I want to eat that.
Alligator tacos.
No thanks.
Alligator meat, it's like light fluffy
Fried
chicken.
gator
That's what
was
it
good.
tastes like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've eaten it. I had it at Northern
New Orleans,
yeah.
we had a po' boy with alligator. I'm like,
That's disgusting.
nope.
Gross.
Well, I liked it. Okay. Hey.
Well, I'm with you. It's
You can
good
have
stuff.
all of it.
You
It's
see,
tasty.
Ed? You see, Ed?
You guys have it all.
You're the man, bro. You are the man. He
you, Amy,
continues.
you three. all alligator.
He continues to not leave me alone in this. You know what I mean?
Well,
Y'all can go
Ed,
somewhere.
since you started the great alligator debate, what are you drinking tonight from your hotel room from your plastic cup?
Okay. Hey,
Poor Ed.
I wish it was plastic cup. That would be an upgrade from my cardboard cup.
They're the worst.
Cardboard.
How many shows did I do from a hotel room a couple years ago, you guys? Not even a couple years ago, with the damn paper cups. Oh, it's awful. The bottom always, when you're drinking a spirit out of it, your bottom, you got to put a timer because you will lose the bottom of the cup. Really
I know. I've got a backup cup waiting just in
Smart.
case.
It just dissolves the bottom of the cup.
Yes, it does.
Just, like eats through it like
Yes.
acid.
Yes.
See, it's like darkening around the edges on the bottom there, where it's.
Damn.
It will fall out. It happened to me once. I wasn't paying attention and I picked it up and I'm
So
like,
if I disappear, you know what happened.
just double cup, baby, double cup. Or take, the plastic it came in?
Jeez.
Just do like a 40 ounce and like keep it in the plastic and just roll it down a little.
Do you like a juice bag?
I'm here with solutions.
I'm here for it all.
I bring solutions. I'm a problem solver.
I can't stop laughing.
Oh, it's great.
Ed, I figured at
Well,
this point,
anyway.
Ed, I figured you would have taken a Glencairn anywhere you went.
Well, I was planning on to originally, but it's one of those things that I just forgot to pack. Oh well, I'm
Gotcha.
making do. But anyway, as sharp, eagle-eyed viewers of our YouTube channel probably noticed by now, I'm not in my regular location, and so yeah, like Sailor said, I am traveling, and I happen to be in the city of Madison, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
So anyway, whenever I travel, I like to seek out local spirits. Find spirits that are made locally with local ingredients. And boy, did I find one.
Oh,
Oh shit.
No. How many
I don't know where you're gonna take us, Ed,
How many
but
of you
I'm here for it.
are familiar
Let me
with
know.
the grain sorghum?
Oh.
No.
Yes.
yes.
Of course you would know.
Rum.
Okay, so for those of you who may not be familiar with sorghum, sorghum is in the grass family, like corn and wheat and barley and all those. It actually bears somewhat of a resemblance to corn. We do grow it here in the Midwest. Obviously, they grow it in Wisconsin. That's what it's made from. It looks kind of like corn from a distance. If you don't really know what you're looking at, you might just assume it's young corn. It's like it looks like scrawny corn without any ears, and the tassels are a little different because they're not tassels. There's the actual grain is at the top, like wheat and barley and all that. But anyway, this is a whiskey made from 100% Wisconsin sorghum. And apparently they don't actually use the grain from the sorghum. They use the stalks. And so I guess it would be similar to how they would use the cane in making rum.
I've heard of sorghum rum. I mean, that's actually really super historic from New England, but I don't know that I've heard of a 100% sorghum whiskey.
Yeah,
ever before.
this was the first time I'd ever heard of sorghum whiskey myself. So when I saw that, I had to pick up a bottle to try it out. And I'm really glad I did. It's and there's kind of an interesting story behind the distillery. The distillery is in downtown Madison, Wisconsin. It was founded in 2010 by a University of Wisconsin graduate. And how they produce it is pretty interesting. They use a pot still because they want to retain as much character of the original base as possible. And the column stills tend to, I guess, kind of clean up and lose
Strip
flavor.
Yep.
Strip flavor from. So this is all pot still, and not only is it pot still, but it's a direct fired pot still. It's not heated by steam like most of them are. And what that does is it allows for some caramelization to happen in the distilling process. And Sailor, you can back me up here or correct me if I'm getting something wrong here, but supposedly it helps with the caramelization and getting more flavor into the whiskey.
Yeah, you don't have even heat. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like when you're sauteing in a pan and you have to, if you're sauteing like string beans, you've got to move them all the time. It's a little bit similar to that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so
you heat from the bottom all the way to the top instead of like, spherical heating.
So I guess they have to. It's a more difficult process. They have to keep agitating it in there so it doesn't burn. But anyway, the reward is it's a lower proof. It's 80 proof. It drinks really easy. Oh, I also almost forgot. Something else I need to mention is what it's called. It's the distillery is called Old Sugar Distillery, and they call this Queen Jenny sorghum whiskey. And it's interesting because it's named after, there was, I guess, during Prohibition, there was probably the area's most famous bootlegger was a woman, and her name was Jenny Justo. And they have some pictures on their website from the Wisconsin State Historical Society. So she was a real person. This isn't just some made-up story. So yeah, she was a
bootleg by land or by water?
I do not know. Probably by land. It being in Madison, Wisconsin. But
I mean, like that whole area, they were getting like, you know, all the states that were near the Great Lakes, you know, or near Canada were like, so she probably got them off the ships and then ran them through on land.
Probably.
Yeah, I was curious because I've never come across hearing about a woman who was like a lot of there were ships and boats and things like that. I read a really cool book a million years ago about like shipwrecks in the Great Lakes and had no idea. I had no idea the Great Lakes were like oceans at the time. I mean, I knew it, but I didn't really get it. And there was a bunch of cool stories about bootlegging ships and smaller vessels and stuff. And I was like, oh damn, how much booze is buried at the bottom of some of the Great Lakes?
Yeah.
That's
probably awesome. Quite a bit.
We need to go find them.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you first nose this, it's like your smell. You've just opened like a bag of caramel candy. When you're smelling this.
That sounds interesting.
It's very good. It's very sweet on the nose, and you almost get a hint of that green grassy note. Like if you walk out into a cornfield and there's that green smell. You get a little bit of that too from the sorghum. And when you first take a sip, the first things that hits your palate is the brown sugar. Now this is aged in Minnesota oak barrels. So I'm assuming some of that brown sugar comes from the wood sugars as well. And you get that greenness, that grassy note in there too, which is actually rather pleasant. And on the finish is medium to short. Not a super long finish, but it finishes with that caramel comes back. And I get the vanilla really hits you at the end. You get that, it's a creamy vanilla, almost like the aftertaste of like a vanilla ice cream. It's really, really good. This would be a great dessert whiskey.
That's so interesting because I was thinking when you first said sorghum that it was going to be very green tasting, because I know that some of the beers that I've had that have been made from sorghum are very sort of green and, like you said, freshly cut grass sort of tasting. But the love that they put in with the pot distillation and the direct fire balances that out. Yeah. So that is really, really interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
So, and I think
bet that helps with the. I'm assuming they're not aging it for like 4 years or something, right?
I would think it's pretty young.
So I would imagine that help. Yeah. I mean, if you call them still that, it would probably be super gross young. So the pot still is probably really necessary, I would imagine.
Yeah, they don't say how long they age it for, but yeah, it's definitely aged in American oak barrels from Minnesota.
Sounds good.
It is good, and it's still very local. I don't think they don't really have much distribution even outside of the county.
Oh wow!
Can I see the bottle again?
Yeah, sure.
If you don't mind.
Oh, there's Queen Jenny.
That's so cool. That's a really label.
Yeah.
And
nice packaging.
Queen Jenny. And it's almost kind of like a little bit of a jug.
That's cool. The jug.
To it. Yeah,
that's super cool.
It's really nice.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it is.
Don't finish it tonight, Ed. Save us some.
I will save you some samples.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
It's quite fun to know that almost every single one of us are actually drinking something that is has something to do with women in some way, right? Widow
Hell
Jane.
yeah.
Hello.
This is true.
Uncle Nearest. Hello.
Yep.
Hey,
Widow
you're
Jane.
drinking with-
Sippany.
Yeah, Sippany.
Tiffany.
Woman owned. I love it. I love the.
And actually,
And then
I
Matt.
believe the layered, I think it is one of the female descendants, if I'm not wrong, is one of the owners of the brand right now. I'll have to look that up to make sure, but I feel like it's like 3 siblings. So
I
anyway,
believe you're right. I believe you're right.
I feel like I see the picture in my head.
We're
There
on
we go,
point.
ladies to the front.
We are on point. I love it.
They've always been there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on that
I
note,
love it.
we're gonna pause for 1 second because I need a pee break.
All right. Now that Sailor has had a chance to take care of her business, let's go to Erica and Amy. As we talked about earlier, they both are podcasters themselves. And how about you guys? Would you be able to tell us a little bit about your podcast, where we can find you?
Yeah, so you can find us. It's called The Lounge Experience. You can find us on Spotify or iTunes podcasts. You can also find us. We do some Clubhouse stuff. Not lately. A lot of people have kind of ventured off and went back to IG and kind of TikTok.
That shit
We're not
opens up by itself. I got Clubhouse for like 2 seconds. And it kept opening up, and I'm like, oh my God, I hope nobody can hear me.
I know. Dude, it has happened to me so many times.
Okay, I'm so glad because I've been asking other people. They're like, oh no, it happens to me too. I'm like, that's not okay. When
It's not.
it's an app where you're having voice conversations and it can just open up at will. And I was like talking about pooping or something, and I didn't know this thing was on. Like,
I think you need to. I think maybe you need to upgrade your update your phone. Like
no, I had just downloaded this shit. I've had it for like all of 2 months.
Listen, I had to turn off my notifications from it because
Oh, I just
it was
deleted the shit.
literally. Yeah, no, I still have it, but
I'm done.
I had to update my.
So we're not.
Anyway,
on,
I didn't
Clubhouse
mean.
too much
Sorry, I
anymore.
didn't mean to
No, you're totally fine.
go down a
You're totally fine.
Clubhouse road.
A rabbit hole.
It wouldn't be an episode of Metal Rock Whiskey without a poop reference. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
True, we've ticked all the boxes. We're talking about peeing in the pants and
Yeah.
pooping now, so we're almost good.
We just have vomiting on deck and we're all good.
And we're good. I think it's just uphill from now, downhill from now, whatever.
However you want to
It's
take it.
uphill. Hello. This is some
Uphill.
classy
So-
shit right here.
The Lounge Experience.
Yeah.
Legit.
See, that's
This
Ed's
is the
job.
lounge experience.
How would you
Yes.
describe
So-
the Lounge Experience?
This.
Amazing. Yep. Pretty
No.
much.
All right, that's all you need to know.
This
No.
is it.
Basically, the reason why we wanted to start the lounge experience is because we felt there was a lot missing in the cigar industry, right? And it's like, doesn't matter if you're a female, male, doesn't matter who you are. Okay. It's just, there was never a safe space. You couldn't ask anybody, how to cut a cigar. What does this mean about tobacco? Why is it dark? Why is it Connecticut? Oh, I'm a beginner smoker, but why are you giving me a Connecticut smoke? There was, and between Amy and I mean, I've been smoking for over 12 years, and I have retail background, and I have social media marketing background, and I've worked with a couple cigar companies in the past. And when I started my personal social media page, it was just for the fact that it's like, okay, at that time, we're talking over 5 years ago, it was just the ass and the boobs of the women, right?
Mhm.
And it's very similar. The spirit industry runs very parallel as well. It's always going to be there. It's going to be there. But the cigar industry, it's still far behind So they are utilizing it more and more. And it's just like, it was too much. There wasn't the lifestyle of the cigar culture being represented the way that I felt like it needed. So with me personally, I said, you know what? I'm going to hire a photographer. We're going to do this right. I'm going to do some crazy stuff and just show the industry the difference. And Amy was doing the same thing. I mean, but in not on social media, but in the real world on the retail side. And so it, with the algorithm and everything on Instagram, your post, and it was very limited. So, and social media can be manipulated, like your photos can be manipulated, your words can be manipulated. It was all these, it's just weird. And your message couldn't really get out there the way that it needed to get out there. So, and at the time I was like, we're going back almost 3 years ago. I said, I'm listening to a lot of podcasts now. I think they're fucking amazing. And this social media thing that I'm doing is not enough. Like, I need to do more. I need to bring some sort of difference some way, somehow. How am I going to do this with some substance? What am I going to do that's going to be powerful and that nobody can touch, or nobody's ever felt in our culture yet? So, and a good friend of mine in the interior design years ago, and I love David from Studium Inc. in New York City. I fucking love you, dude. He said one day, he's like, Erica, you give great phone voice. And it always stuck with me. Always stuck with me. And I was like, what the fuck? It's like, no, you have a great phone voice.
It's true.
It's like, okay,
I've talked to you on the phone.
Thank you. And so I put 2 to 2 together, and I approached Amy and my photographer, Casey. I said, this is what I want to do. And Amy's like, I'm down. And Casey's like, you better fucking do it now. Yeah. And we did our research. There was maybe 17 different cigar podcasts, but let's be honest, like, it was just old guys talking about padrones and nothing else. Like,
it was nothing. It was nothing that we could connect with. It was the fuck. It was nothing that we can connect with, and we kept looking and searching, and we were like,
okay. But and it was just, we did our research first. We wanted to make sure, and there was only a few really good cigar podcasts, and they're still great. And but the others, it's just, where are the minorities? Where are the women? Where is this? Where's that? And when we came in, we didn't come in as we knew everything. We don't know shit. We're still learning. But the main thing is we have questions. Why are these things happening? We are going to challenge you. You can talk the shit that you want to talk about, but we're never going to say that we know and this is a fact. We're just curious. So the guests that make sense. We don't want the manufacturers on, the ones that just give us the stories and the legacies. And no. We're the people that really drive the cigar culture. So, and that's who we started off with. But then you can only do so much in the cigar community because, it just kind of starts to just get a little bit boring. What else can we bring in? Because it is the lounge experience. You guys been to cigar lounges, and you guys have talked to many people from different cultures. So what are we going to do? Now we're going to switch it up. We're going to have people from different industries, the spirit industry. That's what we went heavy on. Then now producers and actors and musicians and just people from different cultures that we can learn from, but they all enjoy cigars. They all enjoy spirits. And it's a community that we've built, and people can appreciate because they feel safe. And that's what it should be. Like your community, what you guys have built for the past few years. And it's something that we strive on, and we do it for fun. right? It's, you know, it's something that we can look forward to. Like Matt, what you were saying earlier, it's like, this is what I look forward to. This is something that I love and I can appreciate doing with the people that I love and I care about and I'm growing with.
Well said. And I agree with the point you made earlier. I do think the cigar industry has a ways to go to catch up with the spirits industry, especially like the whiskeys, as far as image goes and everything. Because even for me, it's still a little, I mean, for me, when I see a woman with a tumbler of whiskey, I hardly think twice about it. But I'm still taken aback a little bit when I see a woman with a cigar, or well, forget about women, even someone under the age of 40 with a cigar. Forget whether it's a woman or a man. Just a younger person with a cigar is a bit shocking. So yeah,
and
definitely
like,
needed.
We always talk on the show about the strides that have been made in the spirits industry, and you know, sometimes it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We've talked about the positive, we talked about the negative, and you two are warriors, because I feel like in that industry, and I know that industry well, you know, from working in spirits for so long, and they're always sort of, you know, simpatico,
go hand in hand,
hand in hand,
Yep.
So far, so much further behind the 8 ball, and what you guys do is incredible. And
thank you guys.
you know, anything that we can do, or anything that, you know, any of the listeners can do to just get your podcast out there, and the stuff that you guys are doing, you know, just amplify
You
it.
guys are doing it right now.
Yeah.
You know, we're hanging
That's
out.
how it goes, right?
It's
That's right.
It's connecting the 2 worlds together. It's that's all we want. You know, we it's not about numbers for us. It's just the amount of people that we can connect with. Because I think it's, you know, you guys can relate to this. We've been approached many times, like, oh, how many listeners do you have? Or what are your numbers? What are your numbers? And I'm like, all right, I could tell you, okay, maybe this week we have 300 people that listen. Oh, but that's not a lot. Well, if you take 300 people and put them in one room, that's a lot.
That's a lot of people, especially for something
Great
niche.
point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a lot. Even 20.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't matter. Those are your people. That's
if they're
your community.
active listeners, exactly.
Yes.
You know, and they're that same thing for us. I mean, I've gone back and forth so many times on having sponsors, and you know, I mean, I kept coming like, okay, could we get a little money to cover certain things? But in the end, it's like, you know, then we're beholden to certain things, and we're, you know, this has been the one outlet. Like I mentioned, you know, when we started tonight, I've always kind of had this box I had to be inside of, you know, you can't say that, you can't do that, you can't do that. And also I wouldn't want to be that and do that and do that. Like, you know, I don't know. So I think I always felt like this was my place to just be me without anyone telling me what to do. Like I wrestled with, should I curse when we first started the podcast? And I mean, I've got a mouth like a sailor. I just do. The end. It just is what it is. But also, like, the older I get, the more, and as society furthers itself, and women have more of a voice in general in all walks of life, you hear more and more women saying, I have earned my expletives. When you are someone who has been silenced most of your life. I feel that so deeply. I'm almost 50 years old and I feel it so deeply. I have earned the right to say fuck. It is just a word, but I've earned that. And I've earned I've earned the place where I get to say it and I don't have to worry that I'm going to lose my job or get in trouble or whatever, you know? So I don't want sponsors telling us what we can and can't talk about. You know, we can't talk about poop or we can't say fuck or, you know, which is all just just human, and it's all just we're just people. It just is what it is, you know? Like there's a book for kids, everybody poops, you know? I mean,
there is that book.
They do, and it's okay. And what's the big fucking deal? Is anyone going to stop listening to the show because I say the word poop? Is anyone not going to buy a something because someone says no? Like, get over it all. Just get over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I feel you.
No, totally. And that's something. It's interesting that you brought up like the sponsors stuff. And that was one thing that we were a little hesitant on, right? And
Very hesitant.
you know, we weren't approaching anybody, and we didn't want to approach anybody. We just wanted to build everything up, and then here, you know, two major companies that really wanted to be our sponsor and wanted to be a part of us and back us up. You know, Boveda Inc. I'm sure all of us are familiar with Boveda, and
yeah, she has a little
you know.
Boveda in her little tin that she's smoking.
I did.
I saw. Yo, I be peeping, bro. I see it.
They're
So
all I use.
it.
Boveda's all I
I've
use.
got them in everything. They're
Boveda's
everywhere. They're everywhere
everywhere.
in everything.
Everywhere.
it's everywhere.
Is that a
It's-
cigar?
Yeah, there's
Yes.
No, it's
I am
yeah.
not.
Is that
I
a
don't
sweet
smoke
thing?
cigars. I'm completely out of
it
the
is.
cigar.
It is. I do
It's-
every
World, so
once
I
in
have
a
no idea.
while. If I'm smoking a cigar I don't particularly love, or if I just need change of flavor, like these little guys, I just every once in a while I have a soft spot for them. I don't know why.
Okay, to each his own. We're not going to yuck your yum, but yeah, it's Boveda is the two-way humidification. It's the pack that's going to make your cigars
Oh, okay.
enough. It just make your cigars smoke the way that they need to smoke.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're not going to
Yes.
dry out. But they're also in different you know, industries. You have the cigar industry, you have the cannabis industry, you have the music industry. You can use the Boveda pack for your household needs. Use salads,
Mhm.
brown sugar, all this
Mhm.
stuff for
dry fruits and all that.
so
fun
all
stuff.
this stuff. But you know, and Room 101 brand, you know, and this is, you know, two major companies that approach us, and I'm like, listen, we're gonna say the things that we're gonna say.
Mhm.
We're not gonna stop, and we are going to talk about you in a very natural way. We're not gonna do commercial shit. I'm sorry. We're gonna explain to our community who you guys are, what you guys are, how you can, what they can do, how they can get you guys. What we're going to guide people the way that we need to guide people to get to you as well. You have events, you have this and this. So straight from the get-go, that's we had to stop. You know, we declined many people from sponsoring the show because of that, because they're going to have their hands on certain things, and we can't have that, because then
Yeah.
it's like you're selling yourself out. Like, what the fuck are we doing
Exactly.
it
Not only that, we also
Mhm.
had to decline a lot of people as well, because obviously we had discussed in the past, and like me and Erica always discuss, like, hey, if we're going to make a decision, we both have to agree that we believe in what we are going to do. Right. So
Mhm.
if we're going to have a sponsor, we're going to believe in that sponsor. We're going to trust that sponsor, because I'm not going to talk about something that I don't believe in. I'm not going to talk
Mhm.
about something that I don't
for? What if
like.
you don't smoke
I
it?
don't. Right.
Yeah,
I don't.
exactly.
I
I'm
don't.
not going to take your money. If you
Correct.
don't smoke
I'm
your
not going to do
cigar.
that. And
I'm
then
not going to take advantage.
Yeah.
let me be honest with you too. When I speak, I am a very very truthful person. My emotions comes out, and you're gonna see it. Like, you're gonna hear it, you're gonna see it. I cannot lie. So if I don't like your shit, I'm sorry.
I feel you.
I'm
I
fucking
feel
like
you.
your shit, and it's gonna fucking be said.
I feel the
So-
passion. I feel the passion, Amy, come out of your voice.
So that's another thing that we actually discussed. So, you know, we love who spot. We love the people that we have
Yeah.
behind us, and who we support. So yeah, that's how we ended up with these people that we work with.
Well, I'm a big fan, as you know, and one thing our listeners should also know is Ed mentioned this early on in the show, that he's outnumbered tonight by the Northeasterners, and so Erica and Amy are currently in New Jersey.
Yes,
Matt-
we are.
Matt is from New Jersey. I am a New Yorker / Bostonian. So you are absolutely outnumbered. And on that note,
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Oh shit!
Spring will soon be gone. Summer's coming on. Tram car, please.
I've had a lot of
I
Wildwood
love
days.
it.
I don't remember them.
Love
though.
it.
All right.
Yeah.
I
So
love it.
we have to get something out of the way. So I just need to get this out of the way. So I've actually prepared a slideshow for you all.
Oh my
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
There's an important discussion here that we have to have. So if you will permit me, I'm going to start the slideshow and I'm going to open up this discussion. But first, I have to get through some facts and some points. Okay.
Okay.
So, all right.
Let's go.
Okay. So here we go. Okay.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yes.
Ed has been
Second.
dreading this for so
Oh my
Fill that. Yeah.
long.
Fill that
Wait a
cardboard cup up,
minute.
Ed.
Okay, so
Wait a minute.
Eddie, you might want to pour yourself another big old dram. So for those of you
Oh
that
my
cannot
goodness.
see, and I highly recommend listeners, you definitely want to watch this on YouTube if you can. But so the title of my presentation is Pizza with Professor Sailor. And there's a subtitle that says, "My title may be a lie." And okay, so sit back, relax, have a drink, and here we go.
All right.
Most people believe pizza history begins in Naples, Italy, as if the Napolitanos cooked up the idea out of thin air. But
I had
guess
some
what,
great
friends?
Neapolitan pizza for lunch today. It was
Oh,
beautiful.
Jesus. Here we go. All right, friends. Professor Sailor, is going to straighten you out.
Professor Sarah.
Actually, flatbreads date back to Neolithic times. That's 12,000 years ago. Civilizations throughout the Mediterranean developed their own versions. In fact, there is evidence that the ancient Greeks brought plakus, their flat and round cheese pie, to southern Italy when they colonized the coastal areas between the 8th and 5th centuries. Pita, which means pie in modern Greek, refers to a leavened bread that might be the forerunner to pizza. Both the word and the food, come on, were the Greeks. But wait a minute, motherfucker.
Somehow I
Let's
knew you'd
talk-
make this about you. Somehow.
Let's talk about the Italian version before Mr. LaRusso has a fucking coronary.
Oh my
Okay. In 1830, Antica Pizzeria Port Alba was opened in Naples. Most historians consider this to be the world's first pizzeria. It became a meeting place for artists, students, and others with little money. So in most cases, the pizza was simple. And guess what? That pizzeria is still in business today.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I made
God.
this little representation for you. I didn't make it. All right. Now, what the
I was
hell
about
does
to
this?
say, damn.
I did
Like,
not.
how long did that take you?
I told you this title might be a lie. So, what the hell does this have to do with anything? Just stick with me for a minute, guys. The first official pizzeria in America was in New York City. Legend says Gennaro Lombardi opened the doors of Lombardi's in 1905 to considerable local success. But it seems that another man, Filippo Malone, who emigrated to the U.S. in the 1890s, probably started the first 6 pizzerias, including the one Lombardi took over. So whoever opened it first doesn't matter right now. What does matter is that we know that American pizza began in New York City in the 1800s, right? So over the years, the presence of pizza crept across the East Coast to New Jersey, Connecticut, and Massachusetts. Are you still with me, people?
Yes.
Okay.
We're here.
Now, let's head over to the Windy City, where the fine folks of Chicago have been gorging themselves
Chicago people.
on casseroles in a crust for some time now. According,
Oh my gosh.
I wish people could
Sailor?
be seeing this for those.
The slideshow, dude.
I
Like,
know.
for our
It's epic.
listeners, like the slideshow, the one woman, when she said Windy City, there was one woman with an umbrella, and the umbrella was
Broken
just
umbrella.
fucked. And it's just like, now here are these 4 women. One is like photo bombing in the back. It's just like, oh my god, what is going on?
This
It's
one is
the
like,
wind.
It's like they're about
my
to
God.
take. I don't know. Go ahead,
Okay.
continue. Sorry.
Okay, so, all right. Let me repeat my last paragraph. Let's now head over to the Windy City, where the fine folks of Chicago have been gorging themselves on casseroles and a crust for some time now. But according to Tim Sam, who is I gotta get through this. Who is Chicago's official
I'ma be in my
cultural?
pants.
I told you, cultural historian. There is not enough documentation to determine with certainty who actually invented Chicago-style deep dish pizza. They don't know.
Oh man. Are you serious?
Yo, I'm dead.
They don't know.
They don't know. They don't know. It is
Oh my
often
God.
reported that Chicago-style deep dish pizza was invented at Pizzeria Uno in Chicago in 1943 by Uno's founder, Ike Sewell. I used to work at Pizzeria Uno. Fuck that place.
Wait, Uno.
Anyway.
Uno's
Anyway,
like
yes.
the Uno's?
Yes.
That's like,
Yes.
Like the franchise?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. So,
continue,
however,
sorry.
an article from the Chicago Daily News asserts that that Uno's original pizza chef Rudy Malnati developed the recipe. Even still, Michelle Moore from the Chicago Tribune reports that another dude named Savario Rosati, it's his descendants that say no, no, no. The menu from today's Rosati's Authentic Chicago Pizza was the original. That one opened in 1926. So, what is my point? This is pizza. This is pizza.
No deep dish.
This is pizza.
That's
fucking pizza.
Yo, that's pizza right there. You
This
could
is not
stop.
pizza.
Sailor, there's no deep
This
dish.
is not pizza.
I know. What the fuck is this?
It's damn delicious, is what it is.
All right, Ed, 2 minutes for rebuttal. Go.
Yo.
Okay, so my point, my entire point about this is we have been waiting to have this pizza debate for a very long time. And we finally came to that moment, right? So I prefaced our discussion about I'm crying, I'm laughing so hard, about New Jersey in a very specific way. And I decided to start that with pizza. But there are some other things that are just oh so New Jersey. According to several U.S. polls, Jersey-ites curse more than any other state in the United States. Holy fuck, that's saying a lot. I'm a New Yorker and a Bostonian, and you guys got me beat.
Yeah.
Oh,
You guys-
yeah.
Fucking
You
A
love
right.
your boardwalks. You got a lot
Yeah.
of them. You got more boardwalks than anywhere else in the country. Also, supposedly, you all love fucking Bruce Springsteen. Like all of you. All of you. Stop that. I hate it. And you all don't seem to want to believe that there's in fact such a thing as Central Jersey. You know, something more than just north and south. Okay? Now, a quiz. Here we go. Get ready. There are prizes to
shit.
win.
Okay.
Oh,
Prizes.
I'm winning in the mall.
All right. All right.
All right, for my Jersey people, what
shit.
are disco fries?
Is
Gravy on top of fries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gravy and cheese, right?
Gravy
yeah.
and cheese, yeah.
Gravy and
Yeah.
cheese.
Isn't that poutine?
To fucking Shay
Listen,
from the Midwest.
Listen, all of you guys. We're gonna go to Top's Diner in Newark,
Yeah.
and we're gonna go there, and you're gonna have the disco
Disco
fries,
fries.
and then we're gonna talk. Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
it is in fact poutine though. But moving along, what is a Benny?
A Benny?
A
What's a
Benny.
Benny?
A Benny.
None of you guys know what a Benny is?
No.
Matt?
What?
It's like, is that short for beignet?
No. No. Well, that's a
I always-
great guess,
I always-
Ed.
I always said Benny is short for Eggs Benedict, but it could be wrong.
No, it's a fucking tourist. It's a tourist that goes to the
I've never
shore.
fucking heard that in my life.
I
What?
never
I've
heard that.
never heard of that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
just like that. I was like, Betty, oh, it's on the shore. What? Oh, I
I
thought
don't
those
know.
were Staten Islanders. Okay.
no. Oh, that's not too. Hold on there. All right.
Long Islanders. Okay, sorry. My
Someone
bad.
explain this word. 20 regular cash.
That's a gas.
Yeah,
What do you
gas.
regular gas?
Gas?
We don't pump our own gas.
We
Yeah, because
have
we don't pump our gas.
we don't
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to pump our own gas.
I was
It's
gonna say,
These
that's why I always-
motherfuckers still can't pump their own goddamn gas.
It's
Yeah,
illegal.
motherfucker, and I love that shit.
It's
'Cause guess what?
illegal.
Let me tell you, motherfucker.
It's illegal
Wait, no,
to
hold
pump
on.
our own gas.
Not only that, but if you
Let me
try
say
to do that, they will give you the dirtiest fucking look ever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know
So-
what? How lovely it is when it's hot as fuck, like it is right now,
Or
and
cold.
you don't
No, I
have
just
to get out
want-
of your car.
Yeah, and you wait
I
in
love
line
it.
for 20 minutes and waste half your goddamn day. But anyway,
No.
so
No,
20
you don't have to
regular.
wait 20 minutes.
Yes, every
There's-
time I go to Jersey, every time. But anyway,
Listen,
20
I like to be
regular
spoiled.
cash
I haven't
is
have
one word
seen-
in Jersey. One word. 20 regular cash. It's all together one word.
Yep.
That's what you say when you roll down your window to the gas station attendant.
Yep. Well, I say
Man.
plus, but it's okay.
Oh,
Fancy, fancy,
All
fancy.
Hey,
I haven't seen full service gas since like the 70s when I was like a toddler.
Jersey.
come to Jersey
Oh, it's
every day,
same.
bro.
You gotta go to Jersey.
You know, when
Why-
you have the
but-
guy with like the change making thing
Yep.
to make the change.
But
They're not that
why-
old.
Is that, but pumping your, not pumping your own gas is a bad thing?
Nobody does that shit
But
but
it's
it's
I
not a
go to-
choice. You're
I go to
prevented.
Wawa. No, I go to Wawa and they pump it within 5 minutes.
But it doesn't
Just
matter.
the
You
idea
don't
of
have the
having to wait
choice.
for someone to do it.
Exactly. You don't
Just
have
gives
the
me
choice.
anxiety.
yeah,
Just
well,
thinking
Wawa
about it.
has one person working every pump. So
It's
Yeah.
right. It's
Yeah.
there's so many people working the pumps. It
Yeah.
depends on where you're going. Like, what
Okay.
if you're in a rush? Are you really in a rush?
All right,
to
bro.
get
Be
to
mad
where
at me.
you
I like being spoiled. I'm sorry.
So here's the question: is tipping expected?
no.
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 Okay.
No. Some people
All right.
do.
Moving along to the last one.
Mhm.
And I'm going to say this. I'm going to put my New Yorker hat on right now. Okay,
Go
Queens
for it.
Astoria. What?
Uh-oh. Matt. Be
Jersey-ites love to make fun of the folks from Staten Island. And what's fucking funny about that, what's hilarious about that, is that Jersey are the southern cousins that we make fun of in New York. So you guys
Okay.
making fun of Staten Island, pick this tiny little island with like 5 people on it, most of them cops, so fair enough, and you make fun of that, right?
Never.
And we make fun of you
No.
guys. Oh, you're from Jersey?
Never.
Okay.
I had a dozen friends from Staten Island. I never once.
Oh, you are an
Okay.
anomaly.
I
I've
will
got one.
go ahead, Ed. Before I
I've got
get-
one that I
Go ahead.
actually learned about. It was a Jersey thing. I'd never heard of it before.
Okay.
Pork roll.
Oh,
Well,
God,
Taylor
your
ham.
pork rolls.
Not pork
It's
roll.
Taylor ham.
It's
South
Taylor ham.
South
Taylor
Jersey's pork roll.
ham.
Taylor
I've
ham.
seen-
Taylor ham,
all the
egg
way.
and cheese on a fucking
Okay, I heard
croissant?
it called pork
Salt,
roll.
pepper, ketchup. Come on.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Yes.
Disgusting.
Yes.
No, Taylor, Sailor. Listen, when you come up here, you're gonna understand it.
You have
Nope.
a real.
We're-
You have
When
a
I
real
come,
Taylor
I
ham egg
came
and
from
cheese.
there.
Listen.
I understand it all. The garbage, the garbage food I don't do anyway. But you guys have weird food shit, like super weird food shit that almost makes you guys like think you live in the middle of the country. And I think y'all are
Hold on.
confused sometimes. Like, where your fries, your disco fries.
It's
Like Ed said, it's fucking poutine.
Hold
You just
on.
want to call it poutine.
it's not weirder than Chicago style pizza. I mean, come
That's
on.
true. That's true. Fair.
This is a big debate. I mean, you could
Okay.
say, okay, the modern way would be like fucking Korean infused tacos. Like it would be like it's like infused. Like what are you fucking talking about? And I love food, but New Jersey has just its old roots. Like it's so traditional, where now I think everybody is like moving forward and there's so many different things happening. It's disco fries. Like if you
Y'all
go
are
to
weird.
Delaware,
It hits
like,
your soul,
no.
bro. Stop it, Sailor. You just haven't had the right ones, I guess. So
I
stop
guess.
looking.
Going back
Right.
to the Staten Island thing. Go ahead.
We're going
Sorry,
to pause on this discussion for just a moment for something very important.
Go for it.
On the street where you live, girls talk about their social lives. They made a lipstick, plastic, and paint, such a shame in their eyes. All your best friends, your daddy gonna talk to you. But you would live in another life.
I got a few things to say about that guy.
All right. Hold your horses, everyone.
Yeah.
Now, enough of this shit about Jersey. Let's talk about music, okay? Now,
All
there's
right.
one or two well-known bands that hail from New Jersey, of course. And one of them released their first album the year I was born. It was titled Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey. I'm sure you've heard of it. From a little band and his frontman, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You fuckers actually think I'm going to do a show on fucking Bruce Springsteen? Get the fuck out of here.
You know how I feel about him. I don't like him at all.
Yeah. Was it the Stony Pony?
Anyway, what we're really going to talk about is the other Jersey band that y'all love to love to love, and that's freaking Bon Jovi.
Jovi. Yeah. Yo, she's like, y'all bugging.
Was when
If
in
you-
Asbury Park, was it at the Stone Pony? Is the Stone Pony back then?
All right, it's karaoke time.
Matt's like, fuck this.
Oh,
Matt's like,
I can't
fuck
stand the guy.
this.
I can't even.
Sailor, one of my
dead.
favorite clips of when we did our overrated episode. Of course, we talked about Bruce
We've
Springsteen.
just lost all our listeners who are Bruce Springsteen fans.
But when you talked about like how he has his wife in the band, and you're like, no, she plays the fucking tambourine. Like, who plays the tambourine?
Oh my god.
And you got so in depth with it too. You're like, you gotta do something other than just smacking on your fucking hip. You know?
No shit, man. That's for
Yeah.
real. When you're the wife, you better step that shit up. You better be, I don't even know who, so better than a triangle player.
Oh my goodness.
Triangle.
Okay. All right, let's get serious, you guys. We're really here to talk about Bon Jovi, who formed in 1983 in Sayreville, New Jersey. Their first album was self-titled. It debuted January 21st of 1984. The breakout hit single was Runaway. The second album, 7800 Degrees Fahrenheit, dumb name. Really dumb name.
Wasn't there like a band named that? Like
Who the fuck knows?
a boy band? No,
I
that's
don't know.
79 degrees or 80, whatever. Anyway,
Whoever.
Okay.
Whoever degrees, it's stupid.
Sorry.
Anyway.
98 degrees.
98, that was it.
Sure. That's a lot cooler.
I'm sorry.
That's way cooler. Get it? Huh?
Oh, jeez.
I'm sorry,
Took
Ed.
a
I saw your
second. Oh, I'm training
That
you well.
never happened before.
Oh man. Sorry,
I'm proud of
guys.
you, Sailor.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, so Stupid Fahrenheit came out in March of 1985, and its success was mild. In and Out of Love was the hit Ish from that album. Apparently, they hate this album so much that they rarely ever play any of the songs from it in shows. But then, drum roll please, August 18th of 1986. Unless you're from another fucking planet, you know that Slippery When Wet was released. Their breakout smash hit album. So this album has been called the album that turned heavy metal into radio-friendly pop format. Thanks a lot, fuckers. And is also commonly seen as a breakthrough for hair metal. Again, fuck you. Slippery When Wet was an instant commercial success, spending 8 weeks #1 on the US Billboard charts and was named by Billboard as the top-selling album of 1987. So after that came the album New Jersey, 1988, with the massive hit Bad Medicine, which honestly could have been from Motley Crue or Great White or whoever the hell else was releasing music at that time. It was a huge success, and honestly, I couldn't give a shit about anything else they've ever done, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you could stop right there.
When I hear the song Bad Medicine, honestly, when I was doing my research, I was like, Bad Medicine? I thought that was Motley Crue. I thought that was somebody else. That song sucks. But that's just my
Catchy as
opinion.
hell, though.
Catchy is just not an indication of something that's good. You can catch a disease. You can catch syphilis. Or
Yeah, your
gonorrhea.
love is a social disease.
Yeah.
All right. Alrighty then.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
We're here for
Speaking
it
of
all.
Bon Jovi.
Yeah, no.
My favorite stories ever from Bon Jovi is, and I have a very bizarre, like, however many degrees of separation to this guy, because he married a Greek girl who was best friends with one of my aunt's best friends. It was a Long Island thing. But anyway, apparently Bon Jovi's mother came to, I don't know if it was his first show or like one of his early shows, and it was so, she thought it was so bad that she left out of embarrassment. And I think about that all the time, and I'm like, damn, dude, your mom walked out because she was so embarrassed of you. But he persevered, and look who he is now. So I guess go screw mom. I don't know.
I don't know. Like, what is he?
My wife is a huge fan. She's Bon Jovi is in heavy rotation on her playlists. So
Sorry about that. Not a band I love.
Maybe this is somebody that, I mean, we can think about it right now. Like how many artists are taking advantage of what, let's say, Nirvana has been doing for a very long time, right? And you know, here this all of a sudden all these artists are wearing dresses, and you know, Kurt wore that floral dress back then. Maybe that's what John was doing with he was that connection into the radio life that many of these other artists couldn't tune in. They didn't sell out. I could be wrong, but I mean, that's kind of how I'm thinking. It's when I hear him, it's like, okay, and oh, he's from Jersey, and oh, he lived there.
Definitely sold out for sure. And I think,
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons they sold out was for lack of talent. That's just my opinion. I don't think they're, well, in the beginning, I mean, once you're rich and famous, you can get and afford whoever the fuck you want to teach you and give you tutelage, right? But I don't think they were particularly talented. I mean, if you listen through to the whole Runaway song, oh boy, there's some gems at like the middle last section of that song. And John was not a talented vocalist, I can tell you. I think that, you know, I mean, look, kudos to you for being one of the most famous rock bands in history, for sure. I just feel like, I wonder sometimes, what is the culture of Jersey musicians and bands? what actually is the sound and the culture? Because it's either or it's
See what now?
that's my best Bruce Springsteen impersonation.
Say what now?
I think it goes back to, I think what Erica said before about the traditional roots is that, and I think Bon Jovi got this later on in his career when he started singing for, he wasn't, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but, their earlier stuff was a little bit more dangerous and risque. And now their newer stuff is more for like the single suburban housewife who drinks rosé by the pool sort of thing. So
Cheers to
I think
them.
it was
I get a
always.
point.
I think it was always for that woman.
well, I mean, like
Bon
really
Jovi.
like now, yeah.
Bon Jovi is the Sting of New Jersey.
No,
Think about that
fucking
for a
way.
second.
No fucking
no.
way.
I mean,
How
No,
dare you?
No, I mean,
How
not
dare
talent
you?
level. I'm just
N-
talking about.
Not
He
any.
started out with
No.
the band Bon Jovi,
No.
early years. Then he
Mhm.
went on to the solo career and changed his sound.
He was on a solo career. He had a solo career.
Oh yeah,
I thought he was just always Bon Jovi.
No,
he's
it-
John
it-
Bon Jovi.
No, but he had the same band throughout.
Same
the whole time,
band.
though.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
It's the same shit. Same shit.
Yeah, but
He's not anywhere as near talented as Sting.
I'm happy
Come
you
on
said
now.
you.
I'm
happy you
not
ended-
suggesting that he is. I'm just saying it's a similar type of trajectory. That the path that he took musically.
I agree with you in one aspect about that, Ed, is that, and maybe this is what you're trying to prove with that, is that his audience grew after he sort of changed his direction.
Yeah, he
musically.
grew and,
Yeah.
and then his audience changed.
His audience changed,
well,
yeah.
too.
But he kept all of his original
Sting
fans.
did not
That's fine.
become radio friendly. I hate to tell you, like none of the albums that he did after the Police were like, yeah, people are going to want to buy this and play this on the radio. Like, I mean, he continued to create new genres of music over and over and over again as being the leader, but he never sold out and went, I'm going to play radio friendly music at all. Not even close.
But the popularity was still there. I think that's what Ed's talking about, is that the
Yeah, but-
popularity grew.
Yeah, but you can't.
Yeah.
This is like saying macaroni and cheese and pizza are the same food because they're both super popular. I mean, they have nothing to
Yeah.
do with each other, except they have cheese. But they have
I think you
nothing
missed
to
my
do with
point,
each other.
but that's fine. We'll
But
move on.
So, but you think about like, okay, what did P. Diddy do, right, in the rap game, right? It's like that one, look at what Biggie did, right? Those or Mace, and just kind of like, okay, you heard hip hop, and then kind of this connection into the radio world and where people can vibe.
Run
to.
DMC did that long before fucking P
Right.
Diddy.
Right, they did.
Long before.
But what did he do? He did something different, or whatever he did, I don't know, but it got more out of it during the culture time. Whatever that culture was, they fed off of it, and he ran with it.
Well,
So
he fed off of it, but he
Oh,
didn't
absolutely.
create anything. I mean,
No.
Run DMC, they're the founders of American hip hop, right?
Absolutely. And but the thing is maybe John Bon Jovi did the same thing. Okay, or whoever he was. That's what it's like. He kind of took
like
it
marketing?
and ran with it. I mean, I think he fucking sold his soul, but it
Like
is
that's
what it
exactly
is.
what I
Yeah.
think. I think
It
he was
just kinda
copying a
sucks.
style, and you can hear it from the
Yeah.
first album
Yeah.
to the next, and then when they changed producers when they went to Slippery When Wet, and then after Bad Met, and it was like, well, play whatever is going to make us famous and get on the radio.
But
Right.
and then I'm happy you stopped the timeline at 1988, because for me that's where it ends. Basically,
It
for
ended
them.
before 1988 for
Well,
me,
no,
but
I mean, dude,
you know.
Slippery When Wet's a great album. I mean, that's just me.
Bad Medicine sucks.
That's not on Slippery When Wet.
No.
Bad Medicine, the album, Jersey. I always call it Bad Medicine. Jersey, the album, I think.
But then
sucks.
after that, and we talked about this before, he started to experiment with that sort of country traditional twang, like Poison did.
Lost
all those guys
Highway.
did.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ugh. Well, somebody likes it. It's a lot of somebody likes it.
Mhm.
And continues to
rosé
like it.
drinkers. Yeah.
Yeah, your rosé drinkers.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And he has his own rosé now, by the way, too. So
Does he?
Go figure.
yes,
What's the brand? Do you know?
it's called. I don't know the
It's
origin of
called
the name,
Bon
but
Rosé.
it's it's called Diving into Hampton Waters.
No.
Swear to God, yes.
Are you?
It's called Up the
hold on.
Pike.
Wait, we gotta look
Wait,
this
are
up.
you serious?
Swear to God, yes.
Up the Pike.
That would make
It
more
is
sense.
called Hampton Water Rose.
Diving into Hampton
Hampton
Waters.
Water
I
Rose.
thought you were
What?
making a joke.
No,
Hampton Water
I've been in
Rose.
retail for 15 years. I know. Every time a celebrity releases
Wait,
something,
he says
Oh.
it's from France.
well, the
it's
wine's from
Francais.
France, but he backs. That's his.
Of
But
course.
his
Yeah.
daughter's
Yeah.
name is Stephanie Rose.
Hampton
Yeah.
Water Road.
What a
What?
weird name.
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently they're okay. Get ready for this. This is I love marketing language. Oh my God, Walker, John Bon Jovi and his son Jesse Bon Jovi are it's Jesse Bon Jovi are taking the wine world by storm with Hampton Water Rosé, a complete blend of Grenache, Cinsault, and whatever the fuck grapes. Get the fuck out of here! They're not taking the wine world by storm. With their rosé,
Wow.
they're taking the wine world by storm.
You'd be surprised
with
how
a
popular
rosé.
that is, though.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't think you're taking
okay.
the wine world by storm, though.
No.
When
the
I-
rosé world, yes, but not the
Well,
entire.
Dive
wine
into the world's best rosé, you guys.
No,
The
that's bullshit.
world.
No.
world. No.
Because their
No.
experience in wine is so vast and so deep, and their understanding of terroir and where they come from in the south of France. Because Bon Jovi is a name that, get the fuck out of here.
Bon Jovi.
It's like
What?
taking in the
Listen.
sorbet sunsets of Long Island Sound, except
God.
with a crystal glass of wine that manages to light. What sorbet sunsets are on Long Island Sound? I come from that shit. Get out of here.
Sorbet.
Don't even.
It gets
Wait.
better. Wait, it gets
Go
better.
ahead.
The
Okay.
rosé splashes your throat. Who writes this shit? Cooling you down with
Sounds like the
crisp,
cigar
yet so-
industry.
splashes your throat. Are we ready
Yeah.
for fucking Ron Jeremy right now? Splashes
Literally?
your
Oh my
throat.
God.
You can. I mean, did he? He wrote Deep Throat, right? No, who
Wrote
wrote Deep
it?
Throat?
He didn't write it. He was in.
No
was
idea.
He,
He was-
was, no, Ron Jeremy came after Deep Throat.
right,
Right?
after Deep Throat. Yeah. I mean, basically, whoever they were.
Splashing your throat with the finest
I
rosé in
am-
the world.
Oh boy. The story, like, listen, this brand story, let me just distill this down for you. Pun absolutely fucking intended. So I'm a young kid that grew up with privilege and wealth and don't know what the fuck to do with myself. So I went to my dad. Hey, what's a good idea? Well, everybody likes wine. Let's make wine. Cool. Hey, my roommate happens to know something about wine. Cool. Let's bring him in too, because we have fucking money. Who cares what we know? We don't have to know shit. Hey, millennials will buy anything that sounds cool. Awesome. You're a rock star. I'm your son. We're going to make this work. Boom. Here we go.
There you
That's
go.
the whole
That's it.
article.
That's
There you
pretty
go.
much it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you for summarizing everything.
You're welcome. And Mr. Jesse Bon Jovi, you can send my check to Stuart, Florida. Thanks.
I just maybe it's the Hampton Waters. It kind of
Sounds
it's
like
not-
white privilege. Probably.
I don't know.
a lot.
It's just like
What Hampton Waters, by the way?
He's fucking from Jersey, and he's talking about Hampton Waters. Like,
That
Hampton
too.
Waters, right?
Like,
It's
make
just,
up your
Really
mind.
weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
I want to know what water you have in the Hamptons on your
But
compound.
Hampton's
That has
Isn't it
there's no
marketing
nice
waters?
water.
But
You're on
this
an
is-
island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't drink the water.
Should be
It's
like
not
diving into
nasty.
Ramapo River waters, man. Come on.
Walmart's water is better than
Yeah.
Hampton Waters.
Otherwise known as ocean water.
Is it maybe
Pretty
they're
much.
utilizing the name
Or
of
bog water.
Hamptons because as soon as you hear Hamptons, it's
exactly.
No, just call it
Well,
Montauk.
I mean,
yeah.
they don't. I mean, obviously, they didn't want to associate themselves with the Jersey Shore.
I guess
No.
not.
They didn't call it Wildwood Water, of course.
Oh, no. No.
Oh my god! But I love that they're taking the wine world by storm. That's really exciting to hear.
Let me tell you, that sounds so much like the articles and the descriptions in the cigar world. It is insane.
Yeah,
Insane.
It's
They
really
exaggerate
crazy.
everything.
Oh,
when-
everyone does that.
It's
Everyone.
just so
Everybody.
ridiculous.
I mean, are you kidding me? Whiskey, they make up the most insane, bizarre. I mean, it's happening less and less. I'm happy to say that
It's good.
it's gotten so much better, but the
Good.
convoluted bullshit stories, like, I'm sorry, but the Pappy Van Winkle bullshit is so ridiculous. Like, it only works on people that are new to whiskey, because at this point it's like, I'm sorry, you've been finding orphan barrels for 25 years. Oh, sure, that okay. That you're satisfying the entire world with. Alrighty then. Okay.
You'd be surprised at how many nooks and crannies are in Kentucky.
I knew you were gonna say that. Look, Harv, I found another one.
Oh
It was
my
behind the
god.
barn. Those barrels, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Oh shit.
Oh my god.
And then who has the story, Matt, where there was a barrel, this is my favorite. There was a barn fire, and there happened to be a barrel sitting in a barn, and only the inside of it got burnt.
Yeah.
The whole barn burnt down, but there's this one barrel left that was burned on the inside, not the outside.
It's
And
a miracle.
That's how we started aging whiskey in charred barrels. Like, what in the absolute
What the fuck?
are you talking about?
What the fuck?
This is true. Who says this, Matt?
I've heard that, but I can't remember who it is.
Was it Evan Williams? Ezra?
Probably.
No, it's not Evan Williams.
Oh my god.
Maybe
all right,
Ezra
it'll
Brooke?
come to me. Ezra, I don't know.
Maybe.
So, it's somebody with an E, I feel like.
Yeah.
So,
Oh
so
my.
when you learn, or if you might already know, because I mean, it's not like it's this secret why barrels were burnt, because is how you cleaned it, first of all, when you're shipping shit to and from over the ocean, right? But I love how just the inside of the barrel got burnt, and it was,
What a
it was like
miracle.
the 1800s, like what, we weren't
The one
charring
barrel?
barrels before the 1800s. Okay,
What
yeah,
a
the
barrel.
one barrel, the one
The
The
one
barrel.
barrel.
The immaculate barrel.
The
Yeah.
immaculate barrel,
Miracle.
the
Yeah.
immaculate barrel, the orphan barrel.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Oh, jeez.
Is
That's
Amy
my rant.
sipping on her Hampton Rosé back there?
yeah,
The Hampton
Oh.
Waters.
Oh yeah, the
rosé.
Hamptons water.
No.
those Hampton Waters, they're the best that France has to offer. Oh God, wait, there's a better one. Hold on.
Oh,
Bed
she's
of-
finding even more.
Bed
I'm
of
done.
rosés?
Bed of rosés.
Question mark. John Bon Jovi is releasing his own wine. Wait, how does that song go?
I want to lay
Oh
you
my
down on a
God.
bed of rosés.
Oh my god.
That'd be a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Yo, I haven't laughed this hard in so long.
Sitting here wasted and wounded with this old piano, trying hard to capture the moment. This morning I don't know, 'cause a bottle of vodka still lodged in my head, and some blonde gave me nightmares. Think that she's still in my bed.
All right, so I think we've shit all over Bon Jovi enough and celebrated New Jersey and proper pizza enough. I guess before we leave, though, Ed, I guess we really should give you a rebuttal to the pizza issue, event, incident, whatever you want to call it. Do you
It's
have
a
a rebuttal,
Chicago
sir?
thing. That's all I can say. It's a Chicago thing. We don't put ketchup on our hot dogs.
What?
We eat Italian beef. It's a Chicago thing.
What's Italian beef? Cows from Italy? I'm truly asking. I don't eat meat. What's Italian beef?
Italian beef, it's thin sliced roast beef with Italian seasonings.
So it's roast beef.
Roast beef.
I love how you guys think you
I love how you
invented
paint
every
that,
every.
You paint that broad brush like, oh yeah, it's fucking Italian beef. Yeah,
It's Italian beef. It's a Chicago thing. Like,
Yeah.
you mean roast beef? Which, like, there are a lot of states
Yeah, throw
founded
some fucking
before
basil on it. It's
people
fucking
were in
Italian.
Chicago and they were eating roast beef forever. But it's
It was like one of my trainers or whatever last week. He and a couple other people were visiting Chicago, and they were like, "We want real Chicago pizza." I was like, "Okay, well, where do you want it? Like, where are you staying and so forth?" And I frequent Chicago very often, right? So I'm like, "All right, where are you staying?" And they were saying, I was like, "Okay, well, I gave him a couple places." And he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, what was that? Deep dish?" And I was like, "No, like you want real pizza? Like it was like a whole thing." I'm just like, "No, you want fucking real. You want something real. Like this is what it is. It's like pizza. Like not deep dish. If you want deep dish, I can tell you where to go. But you want the real stuff where the mobsters used to go." Or if you want to venture out into the south side, I can fucking show you a couple places. But
you gotta
want
knock
that real
twice,
shit.
few wings.
Yep.
No, the secret password.
Secret
York.
password.
The secret password is
Great pizza though. Great
that's how you get the real pizza in Chicago. You get a wink at the
Why
at the
are you
waiter.
calling me sailor?
I am.
Yeah, look.
I don't know. So you can hear me shit on Chicago pizza twice at one time.
I guess.
That's great.
All right.
Once with a delay. Like
Poor Ed. All right. I think we've tortured you enough. Thank you so much, Erica and Amy, for being on the show with us. It was super fun. I had a great
thank
time.
you.
My stomach hurts from laughing, and I still hate Bon Jovi and Chicago pizza, but that's okay because I love Ed and I love you guys. And yeah,
No, thank you for having us. No, we had so much fun. We had a blast, and to start off the week in this way, it's just like it's perfect.
It's
So
amazing.
thank you guys. Thank you for having us. We appreciate you guys so much, and just keep rocking and rolling. Minus John Bon Jovi
and Bruce Springsteen.
Okay. I'm gonna listen to both of them tomorrow, like all day, just fucking cracking.
Now you're not going to be able to hear Bruce Springsteen without hearing me do that.
Yeah,
I ruined it for myself. There were
Thank
actually
Thank
two
you.
songs of his that I really loved. Only two ever. And I ruined them for myself by doing that. So I can't even listen to those
Appreciate
anymore.
it. So thank you. Thank
Oh,
you
you're
guys.
so welcome.
No, I will say
Can't wait.
that I haven't laughed this hard in such a long time. I absolutely loved spending time with the three of you guys. Like it's been so much fun.
We love having you. So
Thanks.
thank
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Matt, get us the hell out of here.
all right. So thanks for sticking around, listeners. We hope you enjoyed that discussion as much as we did. As always, you can find us on Instagram at Metal Rock Whiskey. We are on Twitter at Metal Whiskey. We have a super cool Facebook group, which I've been unfortunately slacking on a little bit lately. But that, you have to ask to join Metal Rock and Whiskey on Facebook. You can also find us individually, of course. You can find me on Instagram at The Whiskey Obsessor. That is whiskey, save the E. Ed.
No, it's me.
Sailor.
You can find me as Sailor Guevara on Instagram or Sailor Cocktails. And you can also find me at www.sailorguevara.com for all kinds of goodies. Ed?
And if you want to find me, just look on Instagram for @BourbonGeek, where you can find what I'm doing and maybe some really nice pictures of some delicious deep dish Chicago pizza. And hey, listeners,
Hey.
if you love us or even just like us, please, we ask, hit that subscribe button, give us a review, give us a thumbs up, whatever you can do. It doesn't cost you money, so why not do it? And it helps us out. So please tune in next time for another episode of Metal Rockin' Whiskey.
And on that note, I will say goodbye and fuck you, rosé wine.
Good
Later, everyone.